Good afternoon and welcome to the Shay Stadium for the red lettered A in any Halifax fans calendar, round 7 of the Betfred Championship, and it's derby day as the Halifax Panthers welcome our nearest and dearest rivals, the Bradford Bulls, over the hill to the Shay for an absolute titanic clash. As always, these occasions, but it's an occasion where Halifax could maintain their perfect start to the season, 7 wins from 7, and open up an unfathomable 8-point gap between ourselves and the Bulls. I know the Bulls were looking to come over to spoil the party and get their season back on track. Absolutely packed house here, they're queuing outside to get in. Crowd could be delayed because of crowd congestion. It's like being back at Thrumall, proper derby. Let's go through the teams while I can. First and foremost, the Panthers. Luju Frey lines up at fullback wearing 1. Ben Tibbs wears 2 and James Saltonstall wears 5 on the wings. And a big call from Kyle Eastman. Charlie Graham back from injury and back into the side wearing 3. And Ben Crooks back in the side as 4. James Woodburn wears 6. Another big call is Tom Inman wears 14 at half-back due to Jack Hansen missing out and his wife's giving birth any time now, really. Another change on the front row is Ronan Dixon's wife is going through the exact same thing, welcoming their child into the world. Brandon Douglas wears 8, Adam O'Brien wears 9, and Owen McCarron moves up into the front row, wears 11. Adam Tagatai wears 12, and Zach McComb wears 19 on his 100th Halifax game. What a servant he's been to the club, and how he'd love a derby day win. The hometown boy. And speaking of hometown boys, Jacob Fairbank wears 13 and locks up the scrum. On the bench for the Panthers, number 15 Connor Davies, 17 Will Calcott, 20 Brad Graham, and 33 the 22-year-old wire loanee Tom Whitehead. Signed on loan straight into the side. And it's absolutely amazing atmosphere that's building up here at the Shay. The Bradford Bulls, with 2 very familiar faces, being welcomed back. They line up number 26, Luke Cooley, at fullback, 37, Jaden Ockenbaugh, and 5 Guy Armitage on the wings, with 3 Wacker Blake and 25 Bailey Liu in the centres. 6 James Meadows, partners, number 7, ex-Fax captain Joe Keys at half-back. 8 Michael Lawrence and 10 Ebon Sker, the props, with 14 Mitch Suter at hooker. Back row 11 Zach Fulton, another very familiar face, Matty G, wears 12, come back to face his old side. With James Donaldson wearing 13, locking the scrum. 9 Jordan Lilly on the bench, 20 Ronan Michael, 27 Aribi Doro, back on loan from OKR to face his former side again, and 17 Franklin Pele. 18th man for both sides. 18 Owen Resto and 18 Sam Ellis if needed. And here come the sides. What an atmosphere in this ground. The fireworks going off. The cheerleaders with the blue and white flares. No pyro, no party. And hopefully it's a party. A blue and white party at the end of the 80 minutes. Wow, this is the best atmosphere I've known for a long time. Both sides playing the part. The Bradford fans coming on en masse from over the hill. And the Halifax fans packing out not just the south stand but the east stand as well. It's the busiest I've known this east stand. And here we go. Off come the cheerleaders and the youngsters from Queensbury and King Cross. And here we go, 80 minutes. Derby day rugby, you can't beat it. Here we go. Halifax kicking off, playing the right way in the first half. There's Jouffre. Want to kick off here. What an atmosphere. There's Jouffre gets us underway. Kick off deep, collected by Meadows. Hands on to Sker. Big collision there from Inman. Massive game for him. The first touch. The ex-Halifax man, Matty G. Welcoming committee of Brandon Douglas there. Donaldson, big shot there. Brilliant hit there from McCarron. Halifax certainly meaning business in defence so far. Here's Lawrence. Takes to centre field. Stopped by 3. O'Brien, Fairbank and Tangata all involved. Goes to Keys. Kicks early in the tackle count. Look for the 40-20, but he goes centre field. Saltonstall collects. And that's a great defensive win from Halifax. As Halifax will start the set. Oh, their own 40-metre line. Brilliant win there. Here's Ben Tibbs. Playing with such confidence at the moment, but the Bradford defence pushing back. O'Brien wears dummy half. Short ball to McCarron. First taste of Derby Day for him, but he gets put down. Well there by Suter. O'Brien comes back centre. Here's Fairbank. Always loves a Derby Day. Does Jacob Fairbank. Plays the ball just inside the Bradford half. Here's Douglas. First Derby Day taste for him as well, the hometown man. Last tackle here. O'Brien going for dummy half. Grubbers it through. Is he going to go too far? Dead it is. Poor kick on the last tackle there from O'Brien. The ex-Bradford man, of course. And it gives Bradford 7 tackles set for the 20-metre tap, which Armitage will take. Gets put down by 3 fast defenders. Douglas, O'Brien and Fairbank all involved. As Halifax will look once again to try and restrict this Bulls yardage as Fulton gets put on his back by Woodburn Hall, Crooks and Tangata. Stewart comes back on the inside, loose ball, no one wants it. That shows a knock on there, and it is a knock on. First error of the game. Somewhat unforced error, a really loose pass from Mick Suter after an half-back. Great pressure from McComb, forced the error. And Halifax are the first attacking scrum here. 30 metres out, centre field. Has a tension, this ground is unbelievable. Here's Woodburn Hall. Good footwork against his ex-teammate Joe Keys. He gets put down 20 metres out. O'Brien finds McCarron. Sker jumped out of the line, but well ridden there by McCarron. Inside Bradford's 20. Here's Inman. Takes the line. Finds Woodburn Hall. Out the match, Jouffre. Further on. It's a loose ball. Here's Saltonstall. Play on, no doubt. Fax losing the way a little bit. Here's McComb on his 100th Halifax appearance. Gets put down by Sker and Suter. Here's Douglas. Halifax going direct. Last tackle, options left and right here for O'Brien. Goes right to Jouffre. Jouffre goes into the in goal. Here's Crosmore! And Armitage just about gets there. Forced the first goal line dropout of the afternoon. Encouraging signs to the tap there for Fax. And I listen to the noise from the south stand. Drop out from Hooley, goes towards touch. Collected by Inman. Back inside Saltonstall. Nifty little drop out there from Hooley, but Halifax dealt with it well. And 5 tackles inside Bradford's 40 now. Here's Douglas. Good collision by Donaldson, but Douglas rides it well enough. Quick play the ball, O'Brien. Finds Inman. Further on to Woodburn Hall. Short ball to Tangata. Great defence there from Bradford to restrict his yardage. O'Brien goes blind to Jouffre. Jouffre face Crooks. Lovely line there from Crooks with the Bradford defence wise to it. Still tackles here for Fax. O'Brien goes on dummy half. Spine an opportunity. And Bradford will load him up over the line. The referee, Scott Michalowskis. Oh, was held in field of play. Last one goes to Woodburn Hall. To the line, finds Inman with a massive gap. Here's Tom Inman. Can he get over the line? Has he scored? Oh, just held short. The waves just seemed to part for Tom Inman then, but just held short. All the momentum now with Fax. Just got to stay squeaky clean now. As Ockenbaugh takes on Inman and comes off second best. Held out by McComb and Douglas. We go blind. G. It's over. The penalty for offside. Commentator's curse. Halifax too keen. And it's Jacob Fairbank that concedes the first penalty of the game, which Matty G loved. And a massive let off there for Bradford. Hooley kicks the ball to touch. Only finds the 40-metre line though. Here's Meadows. Drops off Lawrence. But finds Inman and Fairbank waiting for him. With McComb downstairs. Suter goes centre field to Keys. Back on the inside to Donaldson. But good tackle there from McCarron and Douglas. Options left and right for Suter. He comes back this near side to Lawrence. Lawrence, such experienced campaigners, along with Fairbank who meets him. Suter, long ball to Keys. Keys to the line, finds Meadows. Short ball to Fulton. But Fulton, great tackle there by Woodburn Hall. Still tackles over Bradford. Keys drops off early for Skur. Such a good runner with the ball, but Fairbank and McCarron do well. Bradford inside Halifax 20 for the first time. Last tackle goes to Keys. Keys taken out there by McComb. But the referee rules a knock on. And a bit of an anticlimactic end of set for Bradford there. And Fax will play the ball 10 metres out from their own line. Here's Charlie Graham back in the side. Has a big role to play because Brad Graham's been magnificent in his action. Salterstall carries the ball on despite the attention of Donaldson. O'Brien, short ball to Douglas again. Big shot there by Suter. He didn't like that, did he, Hooker? Got sin bin twice in Davide last year. Here's Woodburn Hall sub off Tangata, but well marshalled out there by Wacker Blake. Here's Crooks. Good yards from dummy half from Ben Crooks. Last tackle over Fax, 10 metres inside the Bradford half. O'Brien finds Dufresne. Dufresne puts it high despite the attention of Ockenbaugh. Ben Tibbs is chasing this. Sewell is there. Brilliant chase there from Ben Tibbs. Just riding the crest of a wave of confidence is Ben Tibbs. And what a tackle there from Brandon Douglas. Armitage it was. Here's Blake as Halifax charging in defence. What a defensive effort this is so far. They've got to stay clean, no penalties. Suter, great shot there from Tangata. Woohoo! Get that into you. As Bradford haven't even made a 10-metre line here. Lawrence finds Meadows. Bradford trying to go wide rather than through. Great tackle from Graham. Last tackle and Bradford have barely made 20 metres. He goes to Hooley. So ball out. Lawrence gets it on. There's a knock on there from Bradford. What a defensive effort there from the men in blue and white. Big opportunity to post the first try of the game here. Still 0-0, coming up to the 10-minute mark. And Fax will start to play the ball. 25 metres out centre field. Here's McCarron. 11 on his batter, but playing in the front row. Here's Inman. Short ball to Douglas, but the Bradford defence expecting that and put him on his back. Matty G finishing him off on the floor. Quick play the ball though. Woodburn all out. Jufrey. Here's Graham. Sets back on the inside. Charlie Graham getting it off for the try. Scrambling defence from Bradford. Slow, play the ball. Jufrey finds Woodburn all onto Douglas. Tries to go between two Bradford defenders, but the door closes. There's space on the left if Halifax can get a quick play the ball. O'Brien finds Woodburn all onto Tangata. Oh, what a tackle there from Blake. Had to be. There's still space on the left. Last tackle. Inman goes to WR, and Halifax got the ball down. Referee's going to get a report from his touch judgment. Look to me that O'Brien got his hand to the ball. Or was it Inman that got the ball down? Oh, it's a penalty to Halifax. Halifax have 6 more tackles on his Bradford line. How much pressure can this Bull side soak up without conceding? Mind you, the decision being made. Going to go for 2. Some ironic moves coming from the Bradford fans behind those posts, but Derby Day, very much like a cup final day. Every point matters. And I think Kyle Eastman, has just decided, let's just come away with some points. And give Lewis Jufrey his first shot at goal for the afternoon. There is a swirling wind coming through the Shay Stadium. You might be able to see the trees in the distance. Blowing here, there and everywhere. But Jufrey, who kicks really well at Hunslet last Friday night, has the opportunity to put Halifax 2-0 in front. Which he does. Silences those Bradford fans behind the post. And after 12 minutes here at the Shay Stadium, it's Halifax who lead 2-0. And it's that psychological blow over Bradford. Could take it 2 ways. All that pressure and all come away with a penalty goal, or is it a case of the 2-0 down and Fax can build on a lead. Hooley with the kickoff. Hangs in the wind. Saltonstall comes forward to collect, and that he does. Hands on to Douglas, and Douglas met well by Suter up top. Quick play the ball though, as McCarran carries it on, and surely that's offside. It is. Brilliant work. First of all from Brandon Douglas to get the quick play the ball, and then throwing McCarran to spot the Bradford marker, who he wasn't square at all. And Jufrey, what a touch finder that is. Brilliant kick there from Jufrey. Takes Fax straight into Bradford's half as Crooks, wasting no time, will take Fax 30 metres from the Bradford line. O'Brien finds Inman. Quick drop off to Fairbank, bounces off Skur. Stands in the tackle, they can't put him down, but to stop his progress. O'Brien shoots right and goes left, finds Woodburn all. Out the back to Jufrey, 3-on-3 for Fax. He just went to the wrong man. Tibbs was there with space. But Bradford are looking to just push Ben Crooks over the line, and they do. Brilliant counter defence there from Bradford. And it just shows if you just run into the line with slightly poor body position, any team in this league will punish you. And that's a big defensive win for Bradford, because he just looked at Halifax return the screw a little bit there. And they'll have to play the ball 10 metres out from their own line. Can Halifax put the same amount of pressure they did the last set of 6? They were down here. Scare put down, goes centre field to Lawrence. Finds Meadows. My G knocks on! Oh, and he goes backwards off Ed Graham. But Matty G with the error. It was a poor pass in truth. But if Graham could have just held on, it was a try on begging. As Kyle Eastman comes down from his lofty perch for the first time in the game, he's up and down like a yo-yo in this stand. Is Kyle Eastman. It's great to see. As Fax have the scrum 20 metres out, centre field. Inman feeds, O'Brien finds Dufresne, takes it to the line, tries to brush off his ex-half-back partner in Keys. Gets a quick play of the ball. Inman finds Tangata, tries it to the line. Stop 5 metres short. Fags with bags of tackles here on Bradford's line. Here's Fairbank, short ball to Douglas. Bradford defence-wise to it, claiming in a forward pass, but referee Mikulowski's not having it. Here's Inman, out of the back to Dufresne. Short ball to Graham. Graham inside, trying to go out. Another tackle coming in from the suit to Dufresne from dummy half. We've seen that before against Bradford. Finds Inman, drops it off for McCarron. McCarron driving, even with three Bradford men in there. Last tackle for the Panthers. O'Brien finds Inman, goes it through for in goal, and Bradford too well. Bradford did really well there, Suter it was. But again, Halifax looking to put pressure on this Bradford yardage, which they do. Tangata, then Douglas. But again, they've got to stay squeaky clean, which they haven't. You can just see the referee looking along the defensive line, and Halifax just caught too keen there, and Bradford get let out of jail again. As Hewler with a rather conservative kick to touch. Not even out of the Bradford half yet. Fairbank comes up with yet another big hit. But Fulton rides it well and takes Bradford into Halifax half. Here's Lawrence. Solid defence from Tagatara and McCarron. Suter finds Keys, takes to the line. Once there, and Tagatara, it's Fairbank who's took him late. And Fairbank's going to be lucky if he doesn't see 10 minutes here. That was needless there from Fairbank. Ball had already gone and he put the hit on Keys. And as I say, you wouldn't be surprised if Scott Mikulowski shows the yellow card. The substitute's on the field. Maybe he's saying how late it was. Maybe it's just a penalty and nothing more. He's pointing at Fairbank. He's going to bring him across. And the experienced campaigner in Fairbank is going to eke out all the time possible. He's called Crooks over as captain as well. Yeah, it is 10 minutes. And not for the first time, Jacob Fairbank receives a card on Derby Day. And Halifax will spend the next 10 minutes down to 12 men. It's a big opportunity now for Bradford to strike. And what a sucker punch it'd be. Keys just off for Lawrence will just settle the play. The south stand making noise. Here's Hooley, tries to take on him and big hit, but he still rides it. Graham and Dufresne there to put him down. Slowing the play of the ball down. I think there's a bit of archaeology going on here. Suter finds it to Keys. Further on to Lawrence. Finds Meadows. Steps back on the inside, but brilliant tackle there from Tangata. Suter comes back in the middle to Skur. Skur, great tackle down low by Douglas. Upstairs from McComb. Suter waits. Short ball to G. G trying to spin in a tackle, but brilliant defence there from McCarron. Last tackle here for the Bulls. Suter finds Keys. Kick across the corner, looking for Blake. Blake collects. But brilliant defence there. Fantastic defence from the Halifax Panthers there. James Woodburn, oh, what a tackle. Because Bradford have got really good aerial threats out wide from crossfield kicks. Wacker Blake collected. But James Woodburn, oh, the fantastic tackle. Saltonstall trying to eke out all the yards he can. O'Brien runs out, trying to catch them offside. This is decent yards so far though. Here's Tibbs. Good yards after contact from Ben Tibbs. Slow play the ball though. Here's Douglas. Trundles the ball in, but brilliant tackle down low by Suter. Last tackle here for Fax. Sure, a second go. Referee says no. It's a decent kick there from Jouffre. Collected one-handed by Ockenbaugh though. Brilliant chase there from Roy McCarron. Here's Guy Armitage. Such a prolific try scorer against Halifax for Toulouse, but kept quiet so far. Here's Bailey Lou. Put down by Inman and Douglas. Suter finds Lawrence. On to Keys. Keys. Great tackle there from Tangata. Finished off there by Woodburn All. All legal that was. Donaldson comes back towards the middle. So look at the gap there. Gap there for G. The door closes. Pull up the forward side of flat there, but the referee rules play on. Last tackle is Keys. Puts the ball up despite the pressure of Graham. Jouffre waits. Collects well with the pressure of Hooley. And Fax will try and get out of danger with Ben Tibbs. Douglas makes way for Will Calcott to come back on. Two Hotown boys interchange. Here's Saltonstall, great run there. Makes some good yards. O'Brien finds Woodburn All. Short ball to McCarron. Tries to bounce off Blake. Buzz Fulton puts him down. O'Brien uses the blind side. Tangata goes inside and out. Finds halfway for Fax. Last tackle here. O'Brien finds Woodburn All. Woodburn All puts it high. Not too deep. No real pressure. There's a collision in back play, but the referee rules it was just incidental. And Bradford will start the set 20 metres out from their own line. Here's Ockenbaugh. Long ball to Meadows. Bradford got the overlap here. Charlie Graham had to make the tackle and does. Bradford had the overlap. Here's Armitage. Great tackle there from McCarron, who's worked overtime this first half so far. McCarron. Here's Aribi Doro. Straight onto the field. Talk about a mixed reception. Loved by the Bradford fans. Booed by the Halifax fans as Keys kicks the ball in behind. Lovely weighted kick there from Keys. Will Tibbs let this go? Yes, he will. Great composure there from Ben Tibbs. And Halifax have a 7 tackle set from the 20 metre tarp, and quite rightly, they're going to take the time here. Down one man, up by 2 points. No need to rush. Saltonstall gets put down by Suter, who's had a great game for Bradford so far. Here's Graham. Good yards there from Graham, despite the attention of 2 Bradford defenders. O'Brien finds Tibbs. Good footwork at the line, but Fulton does well to put him down. O'Brien finds Calcott. Calcott just glides towards the defence. Put down just shy of halfway. Here's McCarron. Oh, just carried on running there, but he decides to take his tackle. Last one for Fax. It goes to Woodburn All. Finds Tangata. Oh, I thought the referee put his hand up for 5th and last. This is definitely 5th and last now. Woodburn All. Pulls it high. One for Tibbs to chase. Hooley takes. And great tackle there from Tibbs. And Ifax again, just got to stay squeaky clean, no penalties. Great shot there from Crooks. Leading by example. Here's Armitage, thought about the pass, but takes the ball in from McCarron there to defence. He's made God knows how many tackles so far as McCarron. Here's Roden Michael. Plenty of enthusiasm on the bench, but plenty of enthusiasm in defence from Zach McComb, his international teammate for Ireland. Hooley kicking early. It slices off the boot and goes out on the full. That's a bad mistake from Luke Hooley. And Owen McCarron takes a well-earned rest. What a first stint there. He's replaced by Connor Davies. And Fax have a great chance now to put the first try on the board. Here's Inman. Short ball to McComb. Meadows shot out the defensive line, put him down. Slow play the ball. Here's Davies, fresh off the bench. Small in stature, but runs well above his weight. Gets put down by 3 Bradford defenders. O'Brien finds Woodburn-Hall, loving this guy's ball to Tangata. Takes Halifax within 10 metres of that Bradford line. O'Brien finds Woodburn-Hall. Shows and goes. Loving this guy's ball to Calco. Calco, can he twist over? No. Just short. Still tackles here for Fax. Inman finds Dufresne. Long ball out to Saltonstall. Sets back on the inside. Still going Saltonstall. Gets put down. Less than 5 out. Last sack clear for the Panthers. Dufresne finds Inman. Goes it towards being goal. Lovely weighted. Have Bradford put that dead? Yes, they have. Brilliantly weighted kick there from Tom Inman. Thus the second goal line dropout of the afternoon. Halifax starting to build a little bit of pressure. Saltonstall collects on the bounce. Hands on to Connor Davies. Runs it centre field. Takes on Michael. Does well. 25 metres out from that Bradford line. O'Brien finds Woodburn-Hall. Brings on Calcott once more, but in a more conventional manner. Inside the Bradford 20. Here's Inman. Drops off Davies once more. Still going despite the attention there of Fulton and Michael. Keeps his feet. O'Brien goes left. Woodburn-Hall. Lovely dummy to Woodburn-Hall. Sure, it's a high tackle. Can he get over the line though? Got to come back for the penalty. Surely it's a high tackle. No, referee rules no high tackle. Just go back and play the ball. Here's Davies. Taking 4 Bradford men to stop in progress there. Last one. Options left and right for O'Brien. Goes left to Woodburn-Hall. Covers it through. That's too long there. And Bradford survive. Wrong option there. There were more space this right hand side. And Bradford have a 7 tackle set from the 20 metre tap. As they're in the changes now, and Jordan Lilly, such a scourge for Halifax in Derby. His pass comes onto the field as Wacker Blake feels a full force to Ben Crooks there. Lilly going into Hooker as Ockenbaugh put down well by Davies and Calcott. Trying to kid the referee into a penalty, but sure that's an incorrect play of the ball as Doro. Here the wrath of this home crowd gets put down by O'Brien and McComb. Michael, short ball to Pele, who's on the field. Bradford bringing out the big guns. Lilly goes blind, tries to spy a gap. Important tackle there from Charlie Graham and McComb. Last one, Meadows finds Keys. Ockenbaugh surely offside on that wing there. He's surely offside. It doesn't matter though because he's knocked it into touch. And the referee quite rightly gives the penalty for offside. And if I could see that, it must have been offside.
There's been a double interchange for Bradford Bulls, 14 Mitchell Simpson, 13 James Donaldson,
and Halifax will get themselves out of danger just in time for Jacob Fairbank. to make his appearance back onto the field for the sin bin. And he's second now, he's going to come back on. There's 2 balls on the field. I'm speaking facts, there were 2 balls on the field. Very important news, that is. And equally important is that Jacob Fairbank is back on the field. Inman finds up Bernal, applies the brakes. Goes back and play just kind of grinds to a halt somewhat. I don't know if that's losing the way a little bit. Here's Fairbank back onto the field as Pele chimes out the line to try and put a stop to him. Slow play the ball. O'Brien finds him and short ball to Davies. Good contact by Fulton, but Davies does well to spin and make a few more yards. Last one for Fax. O'Brien goes back to Dufresne. Dufresne puts it high, looking for Crooks to chase. Hooley collects, but brilliant time tackle there from Crooks. Brilliant kicking game so far from Halifax. As Blake struggles to make yards, here's Ockenbaugh. Again, 3 fast men, Calcott, Davies and Tangata limit his progress. Dorrough finds Meadows, onto Keys, Dooley. On to Bailey, tries to take on Graham, but Graham does well. Armitage finds Meadows, throws a dummy onto Michael. And Michael, great tackle down low from Fairbank. Up top from O'Brien, it's their last one. Lilly finds Keys, puts it high, not too deep. Forces Dufresne to come forward and takes it on the bounce. He's got a bit of broken field to play as well as Dufresne, but just takes a tackle. That'll do him a lot of confidence as well, Dufresne. It's those sort of balls he hasn't been taking recently. As Saltonstall creeps towards halfway. O'Brien, flat ball to Fairbank. Nice footwork out from Dorrough onto Bernal. Finds Tangata. Tangata comes back on the inside. Put down by Fulton. Here's Davies, who's run really well since coming back onto the field. Stopped by Michael and Fulton. Here's Fairbank. Throws a dummy. He gets put down. Less than 30 out from the Bradford line. Last one. Goes to Dufresne. Gets the ball onto McComb. McComb gets back on the inside looking for Inman. Inman just over. Surely second hour. Dufresne's going to score. Yes! Louis Dufresne. How he loves the derby day try, Louis Dufresne. And he gets another one. The first try of this game. Less than 10 minutes to go in this first half. Surely it was going to be a try for Tom Inman if he weren't taken out off the ball. But Louis Dufresne played on, gathered a bouncing ball, and grounded. To the delight of those Halifax fans in the South Stand.
The first try today, the 32nd minute, sponsored by today's match sponsors, Gecko Civil Engineering, Panthers fans, let's hear it for number 1, Louis Dufresne!
Now listen to what it means. These Fax fans. And quite crucially as well for Dufresne, he scored it just the side of the post. So you would think he would turn this 4-6. And what effect will that have on that Bradford side? Look a bit tired right now. As Dufresne strokes the ball over the post. And put Halifax into what could be a crucial 2-score lead at 8 points to 0.
And the successful conversion of his own try, still sponsored by Gecko Civil Engineering. Let's hear it for number 1, Louis Dufresne!
Big match, Louis. Big match comes, he turns it on. Score of all 8 points so far as Hooley with a kick-off. Collected by Saltonstall onto Calcott. He'll take it to the middle, bounces off Ronan Michael. Plays the ball. Here's up Bernal, finds Tangata. Tangata put down by Dorrough. Quick play the ball, Halifax going blind. Up Bernal, early ball to Crooks. A good defence there from the Bradford Bulls. Bob Crooks manages to stay in the field of play. Here's what Bernal finds Davies onto Fairbank. Ooh, nearly one pass too many there. Fairbank does well. O'Brien finds Inman. He wanted McComb there a bit sooner. And Halifax lost a bit of the way a little bit there. Last tackle. Not even at their own 30. Got to be a big kick coming up. It's Jouffre. Perfect kick there. Lovely kick. Oh, he goes between the legs of Hooley. Now what a chase it is there. Led from Inman. And McComb. Bradford fans have seen some of the things at McComb there. Is there a bit of play acting there from Hooley? I don't know. Referee stopped the clock. And I think Zach McComb's been penalised here. The touch should just come onto the field and he's telling the referee some information.
A reminder for the community club children wishing to take part in the half-time picture break, please meet in the far corner of the south stand very shortly. Community club children wanting to take part in the half-time picture break.
Yeah, and you can see by the way that the players going back, is going to be a penalty. You can see the referees signalled to his high tackle, and Zach McComb couldn't agree with that at all. As Keys puts in a touch. Again, not a great touch finder, but he'll do in terms of Bradford. Keys shows and goes. Hands on to Meadows. Further on. Oh, what a tackle from Ben Crooks. Telegraph there, and Hooley, he's sailing the wars. He'll want to go back to Cass at this rate. Lovely tackle. As Fulton does well to make some much needed yards there for Bradford. Stopped by Tangata. Lilly finds Pelly on the charge. Great tackle down low from Davies, but just flings it back. Finds Meadows by luck rather by design. Lou tries to step back on the inside, but great tackle there from Graham. Lilly from dummy half finds Meadows. Drops it off for Michael. Runs it with head of steam, but well tackle there by Calcott, Inman and Davies. Last one for Bradford. 25 metres out for the line. Keys puts it high. And Saltonstall collects brilliantly. Important take that there. As Graham feels the force of Ribidoro. Didn't realise he was that quick off the line. Stealing a couple of yards there. Ribidoro from the defensive line. As Saltonstall stealing a couple of yards from the play of the ball. As this Halifax crowd getting more and more hacked off by the messiness of this ruck. And also by the Bradford defensive line as McComb pokes his nose through. Last tackle goes blind to Jouffre. Jouffre runs to the ball. Lovely play there from Jouffre. Collects on the bounce from Hooley and passes to Ockenboy. Don't want the ball now, don't Hooley, after that treatment. And Fax do well with Ockenboy there. 3.5 minutes to go till half time. Halifax 8, Bradford 0. As Meadows throws a dummy, massive dummy. Goes through the line, but there's no support. There's no support there, but don't need it. Oh, that's a right sucker punch. Completely against the run of play. James Meadows, who's come under severe criticism from his supporters this season, will no doubt be forgiven. As well look like the slowest dummy and run to the line ever. Could have changed the complexion of this game. And Halifax, who were comfortably cruising to a 2-score lead at half time, are being pegged back by that James Meadows try. And Luke Cooley will no doubt convert from bang in front. I'm going up to half time. It may well be just 8 points to 6. Just seemed to power far too easily, did Meadows, through the challenger Dufresne. As Hooley does indeed convert. And we're back to a 2-point ball game here. 90 seconds to go in this first half. Halifax Panthers 8, Bradford Bulls 6. And Dufresne with the kick-off. Collected by Ockenbaugh. Finds on to Michael, who's roared on by those Bradford fans. They're right back in this game, and Blake knocks on. And Tibbs kicks it on. The referee's rule has gone backwards. Referee rule has gone backwards. And it's back to 1, and Halifax may well want to see this half-time. Who have sound. Keys looks across the line, short ball to Pele. And Pele knocks on. Oh, it's penalty. Referee ruling that the ball came out illegally. And just coming up to 20 seconds till half-time. Bradford have one more chance. You'd think 2 more tackles to put another score on the board. Keys takes it across the field, finds Meadows. Out of the back to Hooley. Hooley further on. He goes to Wacker Blake. Back on the inside to Hooley. Surely that's a forward pass. Surely that's a forward pass. And the hooter goes. How quickly momentum can change in a game. But what a game it is. Halifax cruising to a somewhat easy half-time lead, 8 points to 0, with all 8 points coming from Louis Dufresne, with first his penalty goal and then converting his own score. After the try would have been given to Inman if he hadn't been taken out from a cover through. James Meadows, breakaway try just before half time, has given this game a completely different complexion, and hopefully there'll be a half-time team talk just like there was against Hunslet last Friday. So Halifax can still come out with the Davide spoils, but it's so delicately poised here at the half-time interval. The score here at the Shay Stadium in this round 7 Betfred Championship clash. Halifax Panthers 8, Bradford Bulls 6. Welcome back to the Shay Stadium for the second half of this Derby Day round 7 Betfred Championship clash. And as usual with it being a Derby Day, it's also delicately poised, with only 2 points separating the sides at half time. Despite Halifax enjoying the Panthers' share of the first half possession and territory, Bradford have worked their way back into the second half with a sucker punch of a try on half time from James Meadows, after Louis Dufresne has scored all 8 of Halifax's points from his try, conversion and penalty. But he just makes his second 40 minutes even more important, exciting. So it's Bradford to kick off. This time, the sides playing towards their own sets of supporters. Bradford playing towards their fans in the North Stand, and Halifax playing towards the South Stand Barmy Army. A sort of stall goes through. Sure, that's an high tackle. Sure, that's an high tackle. First penalty of the second half goes the way of Halifax. And I don't know why the referee needed 5 seconds to think about that. Everyone in the whole stadium saw it was the high tackle. And straight away Halifax get piggyback down the field as Charlie Graham taps and goes. We haven't seen his namesake Brad Graham on the field yet, but plenty of time for that. As McComb, great yards from dummy half from Zach McComb on his 100th Halifax appearance. And we'd love a Derby Day win. Here's Fairbank, finds up Bernal, short ball to Tangata. Good tackle from Keys and forces a knock on, and look what it means to Joe Keys to force the error. He's sure fired up as Joe Keys. And a chance for Fax to score is gone. And Bradford have quite unusually brought the scrum towards the touchline this time. Lilly finds Ockenbaugh, will just take the tackle, centre field. Takes 4 man to his progress in the ball, nearly coming loose. Lilly short to Michael, and Michael well put down there by Calcott, helped out by McComb. Here's Doro, good footwork in the line, but well put down by Davies, Calcott and Fairbank. Lilly finds Pele, and Pele tries to bump off Tangata, but holds on well, allowing Woodburn Hall to finish off downstairs. Here's Doro, flat ball to Michael, nearly through the gap, but brilliant tackle there from him, and that to be. Last one for Fax. Meadows has time to place his kick. Blake bats it back inside. Loose, sorry, it was, but referee rules a knock on. Halifax survive. It's Graham trying to steal yards out now. Will Bradford's defence be squeaky clean? Oh, nearly through the gap. Connor Davies, good running there. Quick play the ball too. O'Brien jumps out. Sure, that's offside from the marker, but referee rules not. Jouffre finds Calcott, and Calcott put down by Fulton and Michael. Quick play the ball from O'Brien. They do well. Fairbank out the back to Davies, but defence-wise to it. Last tackle here for Fax. Goes back to Jouffre, and Jouffre puts it high and deep. And Hooley just didn't look confident at all under that. Bounced it backwards, and oh, what a shot from Adam Tangata. Boom! Hooley has certainly been in the wars today. Proper Derby Day challenges coming in. Here's Blake again, Adam Tangata flying out the line. Bit more control showed there by Calcott and Davies to make the tackle. Davies finds Fulton back at marker, but well marshalled down by Fairbank, but leaves men on the floor. Lilly kicks from dummy half. Jouffre allows Tibbs to take it. Can he make the break? Good tackle by Blake. Tibbs looking for the penalty, non forthcoming. It's Crooks. Makes some good yards, tries to go between two. Again, Messi play the ball. Here's Saltonstall. Put down by 3 Bradford men. 5 metres shy of halfway. O'Brien finds Fairbank. Throws it under Pele. Managed to get the offload though. Jouffre's away! Here's Louis Jouffre! Oh, it goes the wrong way. Put it left and Inman was there. Still tackles here for Fax, but it's an incorrect play of the ball. And the momentum stopped. And two big substitutions here. Calcott and Davies come off.
Please welcome on debut 33, Tom Whitehead.
As Brandon Douglas and Tom Whitehead comes onto the field to make his debut for the side on loan from the Warrington Wolves. What impact can he have on the field today? G takes the ball up, put down by three ex-teammates. Then Inman, McComb, and O'Brien. Here's Pele, short ball to Doro, good shot there. Ooh, Fairbank, I thought we were going a bit too low there, but Adam Tagatar, this second half, is a man possessed, but concedes the sixth again, the first one of the game. Giving Bradford 6 more tackles in an attacking stage here as Pele takes the ball out wide. Franklin Pele gets the offload away to G. Finds Meadows. Great tackle there from Fairbank. Slowing to play the ball down too. Here's Michael. Stopped by Tagatar, Douglas and McComb. As Bradford stacking the men left. Lily goes that side. Keys says back on the inside though. Keys fancies some of this right hand side. He goes to Fulton. Gets out the challenge of Crooks. Well finished off there from Crooks. As Bradford inside, Halifax is 20, slow play the ball. Keys takes it across the field. Short ball to Michael. Well, brilliant shot there from Douglas. Last one for Bradford. Goes to Keys. Keys posts up the kick. Can Tibbs claim? No, the ball comes back. And surely that's back to one. Also, there's two knock-ons, and Halifax should get the ball here. Sure, that's an Halifax ball. Surely Bradford had the first knock-on. Yes, quite rightly. There'd have been eruptions if that weren't given. As Crooks takes the ball up and very, very quick Bradford defence coming up. Here's Saltonstall. Backs the wall, jobs here for Halifax. Who wants to take up these really hard drives? Here's Douglas. And he makes a really good yards out of the danger there. Brilliant play. Gets a quick play the ball too. Here's McComb. Takes his tackle on the 40. Last one. Oh, goes to Tagatar. Further on to Woodburn Hall. Halifax losing the way a little bit. Woodburn Hall puts up a spiral bomb. But collected comfortably by Hooley. Willing to make the break and Whitehead. First involvement to dump Hooley on the ground. As Liu feels the full force of him and gets the offload to Doro. Finds Ockenbaugh. And Ockenbaugh just goes route one. As Bradford seem a little bit disorganised, a bit tired at the moment. Lilly finds Blake. Tagata going for a big shot again, but Douglas and Fairbank put him down. Lilly comes his blind side, Fulton. Good shot again from Whitehead. Looks a big unit, does Whitehead, and certainly gets stuck in. As Fulton trying to get the referee into a penalty. Keys finds Meadows. Short ball to G. And G tries to step over Inman, but Inman holds on, does well. Last one for Bradford. Goes blind to Meadows, and Meadows, despite the pressure from Inman, gets his kick away. Dufresne collects. But it's a good chase from Bradford. Stop there from Joe Keys. Saltonstall can't get away from his ex-teammate. Great marker play. Here's Graham, steps out of challenge to Doro. There's Bradford. Very, very quick out of defence at the moment. Here's Crooks. Goes on the angle to try and beat Fulton, but Fulton plus the tackle. O'Brien jumps up and dummy half. Trying to win an Oscar for that performance of being stopped by Fulton. Last tackle goes to Dufresne. Dufresne Puts it high and deep. Is it too deep? Come on, better bounce, better bounce. Another better bounce. Oh, he's there, brilliant. Armitage didn't need to take that. And can Halifax push him back? Right, now Halifax, can we put the screw on this defence? Oh, it's another offside. You just knew it was coming. Bradford have had 3 sets on our line in defence, no penalties, and the one time that we get down there, Scott Mikulowskis for the penalty, which Hooley taps and goes. Well, he's certainly glutton for punishment at the moment, it's Hooley. Running into the teeth of that defence. Here's Blake. Good shot again from Whitehead and Woodburn Hall. Quick play the ball, Lilly finds Keys, chops off Doro, bumps off Woodburn Hall, still good read with Doro. A good tackle there from Crooks. Knock on surely from Fulton. Sure that was a knock on. But bait the ball away, Pelly. Great tackle there from Graham, had to be. Meadows goes back on the inside to this maybe his teammates, they want it out wide. Great shot from McCarron, last one for Bradford. Goes to Lilly, and Lilly puts it high. No pressure on Saltonstall, who collects it well. And beats the first tackle as well. Great play, James Saltonstall. Dufresne finds Tibbs on the edge. Tibbs can he get away? Gets back on the inside sensibly and finds his floor. Now surely that Bradford line was offside there. Jordan Lilly's nowhere near that quick. Good yards from Crooks nevertheless. Slow play the ball once more. Here's McCarron. Great tackle down low there from Lilly. O'Brien finds Tangata. Big kick in from Doro. As Halifax again, not past halfway. On the last, Dufresne puts it high. Again, moving all over the place in the air. But Hooley does really well. Certainly an eventful game as Luke Hooley. Ockenbaugh finds Meadows. Further out to Liu. Sets back on the inside. Put down by Graham and McComb. Meadows finds Ockenbaugh. Ockenbaugh just takes his tackle. This remember, lovely offload. Lilly finds Keys, but Keys has no runners. Finally gets to Pele, but Tangata gets stuck in. Pele keeps hold. It's the longest I've ever seen Franklin Pele play without knocking the ball on. Here's Keys. Tries to get out of the way of Whitehead. Beats Tangata. Short ball to Doro. Oh, great defence there from Fax. Pushing backwards on his back. Brilliant defence there. Led by Brandon Douglas. Here's Keys. Out of the back to Meadows. Meadows shows and goes. Tries to go through the gap. Important tackle there from him and held out by McComb. Last one for Bradford. Goes back to Keys. Keys. Pressure from McComb. Looking for Dufresne. Surely it's a knock on from Bradford. Surely Bradford knocked on. Have Bradford got the ball here? I think the referee's rule it's a Bradford ball. Well, from my eyes from here, it looked like Bradford got the first knock on. But Bradford have got the attacking scrum. Big moments coming up in this game. Quarter now into this second half, still no score. Still Halifax 8, Bradford 6. Massive defensive test here for Halifax. They're stacking it on this right hand side. Are they going to dummy? They are going to go left. Meadows onto Liu. A brilliant tackle coming in from Saltonstall. Quick play the ball. Meadows trying to steal one from dummy half. McComb, last ditch defence. Armitage finds Lilly. Short ball to Doro. Doro takes a tackle of Tangata. Here's Pele, shot to the line, brilliant tackle from Tom Inman. Had to be. Quick play the ball though. He goes to Michael tries to run forward, sure that's forward pass. Surely that's a forward pass. The referee's not going to give it. And Bradford Bulls take the lead. And it's Luke Cooley saved on an eventful game. Ron and Michael with the ball, which was definitely the forward side of flat, I must say. And the Casper Tigers Loney goes in for the try that takes a lead for the away side for the first time in this game. Now, what has Kyle Eastman and the players got now? First real test of this season to come from behind against our biggest rivals. Bradford have run the change there for Pele coming off for Michael Lawrence. What conversation being had on those posts there? Or what conversations Kyle Eastman having on the sideline with his staff? Hooley converts. And after a bonkers 57 minutes so far, it's Halifax Panthers 8, Bradford Bulls 12. Frey kicks the ball off again. Collected by Ockenbaugh, hands it on to Lawrence. Lawrence takes on Whitehead as well, but helped out by Tangata and McCarron. Here's Doro. Give a bit of steam, bumps off for O'Brien. Theatrically so. The tackle made by McComb. Lily short ball to Michael, who's run across field and offload. Creating a chance for Bradford to take the lead. Lily goes blind to G, and G, who's been kept relatively quiet by the Halifax side so far, put down by McComb. Here's Meadows, shows and goes across the field, throws a dummy, but McCarron does well. Last one for Bradford, 5 metres shy of halfway, goes to Keys, pressure from O'Brien, but Jouffre collects on the full with no pressure on him, but it's a decent chase there from the Bulls, led by Jordan Lilly. And Jouffre's got a knock on the back of his head as Solonstall takes the ball on. Last thing we need is an injury to another halfback. Here's Charlie Graham. Good yards after contact from Graham. Will find the 40-metre line. Here's Inman. That's done it to McCarron. McCarron had 3 Bradford men waiting for him. O'Brien to Douglas. Douglas will take the ball past halfway for Halifax. Last tackle. Very restrictive Bradford defence so far as Jouffre puts it high and deep. Collects on the full by Armitage. But it's a decent chase from Fax, led by James Woodburn-Hall, with 3 more men in support. Here's Ockenbaugh. Goes towards centre field. Tries to get the offload away, but just keeps hold. Here's Wacker Blake. Good shot again from Whitehead and Douglas. Woodburn-Hall finishes off downstairs. Lily goes blind to Fulton. Sets back on the inside. Bradford just simple rugby away. They're not forcing anything now. Lily comes back centre field. Keys shows and goes. Finds Doro. Bumps on O'Brien again. Loose offload collected by Lawrence. A mistaken tackle. Last tackle for Bradford. He goes back to Hooley, and Hooley just drills it down centre of the field. Collected by Jouffre. And Jouffre returning with interest. Trying to spy a gap. Great return there for Louis Jouffre. Here's Solonstall. As Adam Tangata makes his way off the field. Brilliant spin there from Tangata. Jacob Fairbank back onto the field. Here's Tibbs. Let's put down. Quick play the ball, O'Brien. Goes out from dummy half. Ooh, that's a bit high from Lillian, it was. Great play from Adam O'Brien, shooting out from dummy half. Jordan Lilly with the high shot. Halifax, for the first time in what seems like a long time, having an attacking possession near Bradford's line. They'll just tap and go, hand it to Brandon Douglas. They'll just set up the play, get towards that 20-metre line. O'Brien, go back to Inman, finds Dufresne, onto Graham, and Charlie Graham, getting it over the line, Charlie Graham, onto Inman, yes! Surely's got the ball down! No, he's knocked on! Oh, massive moments there. Now, how long till McCarthy gives a penalty against Halifax for offside now? Great shot there from Graham. Oh, how close was that? Ockenbaugh makes some much needed yards for Bradford as Doro makes his way off the field, playing the pantomime victim. That was good Halifax defence, restricts Bradford to less than 20 metres gain. Keys on the last, spiralled, it's downfield, collected by Jouffre, hands on to Tibbs, and Tibbs really looks counter-attack on the sideline. It's back on the inside, but Fulton does well. Not a bad option though, going round. Here's with Bernal, footwork at the line. Jouffre finds McCarron. That looks a bit high from Donaldson, but McCarron rides it well. Less than 20 minutes to go. Bradford still with a 4-point lead at 12 points to 8. Here's with Bernal. Out the back to Jouffre. Finds Graham. Oh, the ball comes loose. And Halifax with errors for fun here. Ball discipline's not being good this second half. Credit Bradford's defence rushing up. I'd love to see a replay of that Inman chance. It looked to me that he got the ball down, but the referee ruled that he knocked the ball into Doro. Did Doro one-on-one? I'm not too sure. Like I say, Bradford still hold this slender 4-point lead as Armitage takes the ball from the scrum. Keys on to Fulton. Takes 3 Fax men to put him down. Fairbank, McComb and O'Brien. Here's Skur, fresh onto the field. Great tackle there from McCarron. Held out by Fairbank, but he's still going. Here's Donaldson, thought about the pass. Oh, that looks high from Douglas. Oh, I think he's looking to get away with that, Douglas. Goes to Keys. Keys. Lovely kick towards touch from Joe Keys. Stays in the field of play. And Jouffre does well to deal with it. Here's Crooks. Good yards there from Crooks, much needed. Good play all, finds Saltonstall. Shows and goes. That looks a bit high as well, but nothing doing. Inman finds Graham. Speaking of Graham, Brad Graham still hasn't made an appearance off the bench just yet. Here's Douglas. Good footwork at the line, but scared as well. Surely a bit of a grapple tackle, messing around and play the ball there. Missed by the officials as Jouffre behind his 40, but just goes straight down Hooley's throat. Hands on to Armitage, and Armitage met the wall of blue and white, who will put him down. 25 metres for his own line, Inman and Fairbank. Here's Ockenbaugh. Ooh, ball nearly came out there. With the attention of McCarron and Whitehead. Here's Donaldson. Runs wide, but great tackle there from Inman. But quick play the ball though. Lillard jumps out from dummy half, finds G. G looking to get his arm free for the offload. But just takes his tackle from Fairbank. Here's Lilly, just shows it to Lawrence, does take it in. Last tackle for Bradford, 10 metres inside the Halifax half. Goes to Hooley. Puts a huge bomb in, but that's gone too far. It has. For the second time this game. Luke Hooley's gone for the massive bomb and it's gone straight out on the full in a touch. Is that the chance Halifax needs to wrestle momentum back in this game? Here's McCarron. Put down by Fulton. O'Brien finds Inman. Onto Bernal, short ball. As McCarron gets put down. Sorry, McComb it was. Here's Fairbank. Thought about the pass, but thought better of it. Needs to hold on now. There's 3 Bradford men. Put him down 30 metres from the line. Slow, play the ball. O'Brien visits it to Inman. Finds Dufresne. Graham. Tries to step outside. Lou, but does well. Sure, that's a penalty for a flop, but not coming for the referee. Here's Inman. Trying to manufacture something. Last tackle inside Bradford's 20 for the first time in a long time. Goes back to Dufresne. Dufresne dinks it towards the corner, looking for Tibbs. Collected by Ockenbaugh, brilliantly so. But not a bad place to turn it over. Can Halifax force a mistake? As Wacker Blake needs the full force with Tom Whitehead. Here's Ockenbaugh. Cook shoots out, gets the ball away to Keys. Finds Armitage. Sets back on the inside. O'Brien and Whitehead do just enough. Lillard jumps out from dummy half. Spine, lazy markers. Here's Lawrence. Gets out of the way of Douglas, but put down by 3 fast defenders in the shape of Fairbank, O'Brien and Whitehead. Last one for Bradford. Lilly from dummy half. Looks to try and get the ball out to touch, which he does. 12 minutes to go. Still Halifax 8, Bradford 12. I was seeing a Brian Noble side just set up shop. Just going through the process of a simple rugby league. Can Halifax wrestle this match back in their favour as Brandon Douglas makes way for Will Calcott. Here's Saltonstall. Wrestled to the ground by G. Again, scrappy play the ball. Here's McComb. Good tackle down low by Donaldson. Calcott fresh onto the field, gets the ball back from Fairbank. Here's Inman. Let's take on the line, but Meadows does well. Here's O'Brien. Finds Fairbank. Short ball to McCarron. McCarron tunnels the ball through. Last one for Fax. Only 5 metres inside the Bradford half. Goes back to Bernal. Steps out from Lilly. Puts it high to a corner. Crooks and Tibbs chasing. Oh, and Hula's got away. And Pawn that Whitehead was covering. He's stolen a couple of yards there, surely, but referee ruling not. As Armitage is put down by McCarron and McComb. Here's Ockenbaugh. Put down by 3 Fax men. McCarron, Calcott and McComb. McComb wanted to knock on, but referee not giving. Donaldson. Ooh. Led with the elbow there, surely, and O'Brien's definitely got second best. Great tackle from Skur. On Skur. From Inman. Keys Drills it towards the corner, collects on the full from Dufresne. As Dufresne, long ball to Tibbs, and Tibbs coming on the outside of Blake. Oh. Good defence from the Bradford centre. Here's Crooks. This Bradford defence has been very, very quick off the line all his second half. A Saltonstall. Ooh. Looked a bit high, but he was ducking down. Here's Fairbank. Oh, dummy, but surely tackle without the ball for Calcott. Slow play the ball. Here's Calcott. Finds Woodburn Hall. Out the back to Dufresne. Dufresne onto Crooks. Surely needs to go wide first time as O'Brien, sorry. Put down by Michael Lawrence. Last tackle here for Halifax. Goes back to Dufresne. Dufresne puts it high. Looking for Tibbs to chase. Great fullback play there from Hooley. In truth, an outstanding game for Bradford. Good defence here from Halifax as Armitage struggling to get out. Keys finds Meadows. On to Liu. Oh, G, sorry. Tackle from Graham. Here's Liu this time. Stopped by the Panthers defence, led by McCarron. Here's Lawrence. Foot at the line, but no fooling. Calcott and McCarron, last one for Bradford. Goes back to Keys. Keys. Kicks towards Saltonstall. Saltonstall collects. And Saltonstall passes to himself. Put down by G. As the atmosphere just fallen very, very flat in this stadium. A massive low, less than 8 minutes to go. You wouldn't think it's Derby Day right now, only 4 points in it. Here's Tibbs, looking to break through. Put down by Fulton. O'Brien finds Woodburn Hall. Finds Inman onto Dufresne. Dufresne onto Graham. Graham goes back on the inside, but again, last tackle from the Bradford defence. Inman goes blind to Dufresne. Dufresne finds and shows off a Bradford hand. Did Bradford touch that out? Well, referee rules he knocked on into the Bradford hand. Seven and a half minutes to go. Bradford have to play the ball on their own 20. Finally, the South Stand finds a voice. Only 4 points behind, one try. As Ockenbaugh fails to force a Whitehead, he's done a good job. He's come on as young Tom Whitehead. Lily goes blind to Fulton. Good shot there from McCarron. Lily, short ball to Blake. And Blake, good defence there. McCarron, Calcott and Whitehead. Here's Skur. Great run from Skur. Takes Bradford into Halifax half. Lily from dummy half, looking to spy a gap, throws a dummy. Last one for Bradford, he goes blind to Keys. Keys puts it high. Well taken from Dufresne, but look who's there, Luke Hooley. With a tackle. Graham with the run out. Halifax need a penalty or something because this Bradford defence is just too good at the moment. Great coming in from Armitage. Here's McComb. Stopped by 3-4. Bradford defenders with Lily coming in. Graham takes it from dummy half. Looking to steal a few yards. Last tackle, Inman from the 40, but skews it over. They were looking for the 40-20, but just trying too hard. And just going on to the last 5 minutes to go. Is that a bit of desperation coming in from Halifax? Tazariba Doro comes back onto the field in place of Ebon Sker.
Interchange for the Bulls. 10, Ebon Sker to left the field.
Here's Doro.
27, Doro.
Well put down by Fairbank and McCarran. Here's Donaldson. Finds McComb. Finished off by Calcott. Here's Keys. On Meadows, brings on Fulton on the angle. Gaps appearing in that Halifax defence. Looking to get away with that. Kneeling over the horizontal. Here's Doro from the flat ball from dummy half. Gets the ball back, does Lilly. Gas there, brilliant tackle there from Crooks. Fantastic tackle. This is late inevitable. Long ball from Keys. Knocked on. Woodburn Hall picks up and essentially dives on the ball. What have Halifax got left now? Massive, massive. Time's coming up. Tibbs takes the ball in. Here's Saltonstall. O'Brien, show ball to Douglas. Great run there. Good tackle though. O'Brien finds Inman. Onto McComb. Back on the inside, McComb. Footwork at the line, but not really going anywhere. Here's Inman. Takes it to the line. Finds Woodburn Hall. Kicks, looking for Tibbs. Ockenbaugh, never going to be beaten there. And Halifax is going to be squeaky clean defence here. 3.5 minutes left. Still Halifax 8, Bradford 12. As Armitage dumped to the floor by McCarran. Here's Lawrence. Stopped by 3 fast defenders. Whitehead, McCarran and Calcott. As Lilly. Yeah, he kicks on the full. Well. Massive opportunity now. Is this the moment for Halifax to strike? They'll have to do it without Ben Crooks because he's been forced off the field with an injury. But again, Brad Graham not on the field. I don't know.
Today's official Panthers roundabout sponsored by W. Dennis. Sponsored by Malcolm Patriot, goes to Panthers number 9, Adam O'Brien.
Here's Douglas. Douglas, big run here. Now, here we go. Less than 3 minutes left. Here's Woodburn Hall, back on the inside to Fairbank. Finds Douglas. Halifax just got to have some composure here. Not force it. O'Brien finds Inman. Here's Dufresne. Finds Graham. Sets back on the inside. Graham goes back wide. Great defence coming in from Meadows there. Dufresne. Inman. Onto Woodburn Hall. Sets back on the inside. Woodburn Hall. Still tackles here for Fax. Inman. On to Dufresne. Well, ball to Tibbs. There's a shoot. Oh! And is that the game gone? Panic from Ben Tibbs there. And is that the game gone?
Thank you for your magnificent support. 4,887.
What a crowd as well. 4,800, what an attendance. But it's unfortunate that it's going to see a Bradford win on Derby Day and Halifax's perfect start to the season ruined. 90 seconds to go and Bradford will eke out every available second of this 90 seconds. As Donaldson takes ball into the line, you can hear the Bradford fans celebrating, you can't blame him. Here's Lilly, who's kick out on the full. Gave Halifax one last chance. But the chance is gone. Here's Keys. Bouncing back to Lawrence. It's a very happy return for Joe Keys and Matty G. Here's Donaldson. Trunnels it up and gets put down. Last tackle for Bradford, 40 seconds left. Goes to Keys and Keys. Shows and goes. Can't get the ball out. Joe Keys. 30 seconds left. Halifax have the ball. What have Fax got left here? Douglas takes it through. How Jordan Lilly was offside on that mark position, I don't know. Here's Inman. 10 seconds left. Woodburn all. Finds McCoy, wants to do free. On to Graham. Oh, and Graham throws it out. And that's the game. Bradford have come to spoil the party. And for the first time in the Betfred Championship in 2025, Halifax Panthers taste defeat. And it's the bitterest taste possible as we go down against our local rivals, the Bradford Bulls. And it's Luke Hooley, who had such a good game at Bradford, who is the difference between the two sides. He's tried the 55-minute mark from a suspect pass and run of Michael. His try and goal is the difference between the two sides. After Halifax went 8-0 up, partway through the first half. But it's Bradford who have the spoils here today. Halifax still top of the league, but taste defeat for the first time this season. The final score of this Good Friday Derby Day is Halifax Panthers 8, Bradford Bulls 12.